Thanks for coming to another video where we look through our pocket money and see what we can find that's worth more than face value, turning our money into potentially more money. Hey, what's going on, folks? It's been a little while and I do apologize. I sound a lot better than I have over the last little while. Since you met Haku the cat, my cat, and I, in the last video talking about some coins I came across in a storage auction I bought, I have been just sick as can be. So anyway, I've switched saddles midstream, and here we are back at another daily bill search video. Let's go over my pocket change, see if we find stuff that's worth more than face value. I'll tell you what we're looking for, a couple different tips and tricks on where to sell stuff at the end of this video. And we'll see if we find anything of note. So as we're starting off on the top of the stack, we know the condition with any collectibles is going to be something we have to take into account. So condition is kind of 9/10 of the law with a lot of collectibles, comic books, vinyls, so on and so forth. And it doesn't get eluded when it comes to currency. So without going into massive detail, I think we can all understand that the worse off something is, the less of value it's going to be if it is collectible. But the good case with money is, as far as the value, the face value of the money, so $1 in this case, it doesn't matter how beat up this thing is as far as color and or lack thereof. It's still going to be worth $1. Same thing as at the end of this, if we find nothing that's collectible or worth a premium over the face value on the US banknote it is, that's the great thing about collecting money. It's still worth the same amount that it was when you began. So we're looking for different things. We're looking for misprints and stuff like that. We're looking for fancy serial numbers or collectible pattern serial numbers more commonly. In this case, this one does not have anything collectible about the serial number, but what we would be looking for would be repetition in the serial number, very low or really high serial numbers. This one is kind of high, but not in relation to this year, which is Series 2013. That's shown down here, which is a little hard to see in the camera. I have my camera zoomed out to be able to see the full bill with a little space around it so we can talk about misprints and stuff too in this video. Nevertheless, 2013 series has a very large run number. You can go on My Currency Collection online. That's not my website. My website is varietyerrors.com, which is in the description box. But you can search up the run of your bill and see if, for instance, it's a heavy run, being a large amount of them printed, or a light run, which is a low amount of them printed. Another thing we're going to look at is issues with the color. This one's harder for an example because it is beat up. It's a newer series, newer as in Series 2013, some of the newer bills. We're starting to see ones that are closer to the current calendar year we're in now. And we'll see new renditions of possibly the $1 and $2 bill in the 2020s, from what I understand. Let's look at the reverse of the bill. Nothing really jumping out at me. Nothing too crazy, and as we go through this video, I'll increase the speed on how quick I'm going to go through the bills. I like to use the first few as an example of what we're looking for the newcomers, and thank you for the ones that watch my channel and are commenting to other people's questions in the comments below to help them out. That's what I like to do about when it comes to this hobby, is create a community. That's what varietyerrors.com is. That's what our Facebook page CoinOp is, and that has almost 10,000 members on it, or over 10,000 members. That discuss their finds. That way you can learn from other people. You're not just taking my words or other YouTubers' information as gold, you know. You can kind of find and research your own stuff. Nothing on this bill. We'll keep on keeping on. So Series 2009, that's when we saw, well, 2000, I believe 6 and 2009 was when we saw the renditions of new graphics changes in different currency. The $1 bill has not been redone in quite a while. So that's not one to take into consideration. For instance, would be the next bill we'll look at, but we'll look at the reverse of this $1 bill first. We can see that there's different annotations on the bills. These are for the plate and position on the sheet that these bills are. That would be numbers like this 295 here. Other than that, on the back of the $1 bill, there's not much. Like I said, there hasn't been a major graphics change, so I'll use this 10, and there was nothing on that one. As an example, we see that there's a tear down here at the bottom of the portrait of Hamilton. There's a lot of interesting stuff with Alexander Hamilton. That would be something for you to look up on your own. If you like the history of presidents and presidential history, then look that up. He's an interesting guy. There's, a lot of key factors as to why he is on a banknote. The depiction on the back of this banknote is the U.S. Treasury, but there's also a depiction of Monticello, which is Hamilton's estate. Moving forward, though, nothing in the serial number. It's nice bright colors, despite the fact that this Series 2013, which on a $10 bill is above this 10 down at the bottom. There's nothing really crazy about this bill. See some heavy pressing of the seal from the front on the back, but that's not collectible. Very prime example of some good block repetition. So we see all these 6s repeated. I wouldn't say there's a big premium. The 2-8 on the end does throw it off. If it was only one digit and all 6s, or just 2 2s or 2 8s or whatever, that would be a binary note, which is essentially when there's just 2 numbers in the serial number. This is a good example of block repetition. This is 6 6s, followed by 2 8. It would have been a lot better if it was all 6s somewhere. So somebody got nice and lucky somewhere in this run for the Series 2013, where they got all 6s in a block. That's going to be worth, I would say, I've seen them sell for a $1 bill around the $15 to $20 region, which, it doesn't sound like a ton of money, but think about that in a percentage premium over the $1 value. It being up to selling for 20 is great in comparison to the $1 value, and if you would have never known to collect that, you would have just spent the dollar on a Coke or something and been about your day. Next thing we got is on the reverse of the bill. Nothing crazy. I'm going to set aside this repetitious, serial number 1 for later to talk about, but nothing really crazy on it. We got some light printing up here, but it looks like this bill's been through the ringer. It's another $10 bill. This is a Series 2009, though, so it would have been when the $10 bill first had the redesign. So that would have changed it to both enhance the anti-counterfeiting measures by changing the graphics in the background of the bill, as well as adding a few other things. They enhanced the constellation over here. I wanted to say Constellatio Nova, which is a coin, but anyway, sorry, I've been reading a lot of stuff this morning, so I get confused. Anyway, there's a constellation over in the 10s here. That's part of an anti-counterfeiting measure. Same deal as on the back in these 10s here. Nice depiction of the U.S. Treasury. Nothing really crazy on this bill. There's a watermark of the president if you hold it up to the light. Maybe you can see, there you go. Right above that left 10 there, in between the 10s, you can see that watermark of the president. They changed that up during the redesign. We have a Lincoln wearing lipstick. Look at that. Nice little, looks like just foreign ink. Looks like he's wearing lipstick on. He tried to wipe off some lipstick or something. Nothing really crazy with the serial number. Got some more smudge here, like a coffee stain. More of that highlighter or whatever it is on the back. Nothing crazy on that film. Nice little star note. That's good. So on Series 2013, let me see if I can move this camera just a tad closer. There we go. I think that's a little nicer. Sorry about that. I want you to be able to see the bills appropriately so we can talk about them correctly. So this is a Series 2013 shown right there. Same kind of layout as any other $1 bill. It's been around for years and years. What's cool about this one is that it is a star note, which is a replacement note. Essentially, something happened to this $1 bill, its predecessor, in the production process that caused it to be replaced. They take the letter that normally would be here and replace it with a star, showing that it is a replacement note. This heavy inked 2 that we see here, you can kind of see it in the camera on both the bottom left serial number and top right, that's a very common thing on 2013 series bills. It's not collectible as an over ink error. It's not an ink error. But star notes are cool, and I collect pretty much all the star notes I can. So I'm going to set that one aside. Let's look at the reverse just in case something is on it. Nothing really crazy. But a great condition note. It's in wonderful condition. Not pressed, not folded. I like it. So good star note. We got a few more bills to go through. Now that we know kind of what we're looking for, I'll kind of go a little bit quicker. Seals are printed appropriately. Sometimes you'll see these seals on the Series 2013 shifted to the left over that way. That's the most common thing in my opinion, but unless it's sitting off the E entirely, I wouldn't say it's collectible. There's nothing really crazy with the serial number, no repetitions, no ladders, no date notes. A date note would be like if it's 0704-1776, that'd be a good date to have, so you can hold on to that. Or birthday notes is like, my birthday is May 3rd, if it was an 0503 and then whatever year, then that would be cool too. Nothing on that note though. Let's see, got a couple $1 bills, it looks like, and a 20 there hiding out on the bottom. Nothing really crazy in the serial number, another 2013. You'll see those most commonly. The different plate numbers and annotations for production annotations and stuff determine what the plate number is that was used to make the bill. That way, if they see an issue with the printing of the bill, they can already figure it out as far as which plates need to be addressed that put down the ink on the bill. Another thing to take into consideration is bills are printed in a multi-printing process. So some of the stuff is printed within the bill, some of the printed stuff is printed on the bill. So that would explain why you would see like a bill left in water or that's really old and rubbed against stuff for a long time that has friction markings. A lot of the time the seals are going to be nice and bright still and serial numbers, but the rest of the bill's not. That's because those are printed within the bill, whereas the rest of the stuff is printed on it, allowing for that surface ink to be removed from outside sources a little bit easier. Anyway, this one's beat up kind of bit. Another 2009. No real changes from 2009 to 13 as far as governmentally. Other than the change in, I believe it was just the Secretary of the Treasury changed during that time. Other than that, other offices remain the same as far as the Treasury was concerned. Nothing really crazy, a little bit of marking here, just somebody testing out their pen or something. You can tell it's gotten in water. So this will be commonly mistaken for an ink error, that smudge where the 9 and the 6 are. I'd love to say it is. You get a premium over it, it would be worth a little bit more than the $1 for something that's not a collectible serial number. But that change in the 9 and 6 is purely from water. You can tell from if you look in this fold crease here, you can see the difference in color there. That brown kind of, that's iron that's in water that essentially just stains the outside of the bill. It kind of gives it that iron rust color. Anyway, next one's nothing in the serial number. This seal's printed quite far off, as I mentioned earlier, but it's not really askew enough for us to call it collectible. And you might be asking yourself, well, man, I don't really ever see that. Well, that's true. It's not as common, but I do have one. I'll find it in my collection. I know I have it. But it's a $1 bill where the seal's sitting like all the way over here, where this edge of this green seal is almost touching the left edge of the O in one, and it's completely off the E. I would say that's collectible. It's a shift error or print error. But hey. Nothing here, though. This one's sitting a little bit high, a little large margin. Tell him Large Marge sent ya. Sorry, a little Pee Wee Herman thing. But anyway, sitting high on the margin, but nevertheless not collectible. Unless it's sitting way up here, I wouldn't call it collectible. It's not a misprint in any way. Let's kind of shoot through the last three. What's nice is they're different denominations, so it'll give you some good differences between them as we kind of finish up the video. Nothing in the serial number 18139461. Unless it can be read forward and backward, it's a ladder where it goes from like 0 to 7 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, blah, blah, blah. Or it's repetitious or something like that. Not collectible. It's a Series 2013 $5 bill. They changed up the design in like 2006 for 5s. I think the new 5s look great. I love the depiction of the Great Seal in the back. They added some anti-counterfeiting measures, because 5s are actually counterfeited quite frequently. They removed a couple things in the picture and enhanced Lincoln's portrait. This one's really beat up, though, so, it'll leave a lot to be desired. On the back of the bill, we don't see anything too great. There's that constellation like there is in a lot of different denominations of banknotes, but nothing crazy, nothing really jumping out, and the bill's real beat up. Nothing in the serial number here. This one's actually printed the most symmetrically I've seen out of the ones we've looked through, so that's kind of a good example. But you can tell somebody folded it into whatever they did, some sort of triangle. And last is a good old $20 bill. Nothing crazy in the serial number. $20 bills went through a design change as well. 2009. They added the eagle here with the olive branch and stuff and the arrows, as well as changed up the side here and then enhanced Jackson's portrait. And on the back, we see the White House. It's a good depiction of the White House. I like the graphics on the back of the bill. They retain the same graphic, they just enhanced it. And then they put that constellation actually is made up within these 20s here as an anti-counterfeiting measure. But nothing really crazy on the bill. You can see some different fingerprints and stuff from it being wet and people handling it. So let's look at what we did find. We found 2 bills. One's not collectible, one is. The one on the bottom is just a really good example of just a repetitious bill. Aside from that, it's not really collectible. I just wanted to show it as an example of what to look for, and then earlier in the video we talked about what would have made it really collectible. And then the top one's a good star note. It's nice and clean, it's crisp, despite this little crease here. But I love star notes, so I'll add that to the collection. Otherwise, if you guys have any questions, please continue helping each other in the comments below. I'll answer as many as I can, as quickly as I can. Or email me on the website through the contact page on VarietyErrors.com. That is VarietyErrors.com. Or follow the link in the description box. Either way, you guys are awesome. I am trying my best, now that I feel better, to make videos regularly. This one was a little bit longer video, but I wanted to kind of recap on things since I've been out for a little while and kind of haphazard with posting stuff. But thank you so much for joining. Keep watching all the videos. Let me know of any questions. Like and subscribe if you're new and you enjoy collecting money. And I will see you guys in the next video.